Hey, what's happening? I'm Hasib,
I'm Chocolate.
and we are What Happens After the Cross.
How did y'all come together as a group?
We came together as a group. A friend of ours, producer friend of ours, a good friend of mine. His name is Terrence Trent, W.H.A.T. He's done a lot of. He got a couple of plaques on the wall, shall I say? And he knew her, he knew me. He introduced us, and he suggested that we should do a record together, and we did this record called Shake It Up. Of course, it wasn't gospel. It was talking about the club and shaking it up. So when we did that, the chemistry was crazy, and we actually was taking that to the labels, and they felt the chemistry. So we decided to do a whole album together. I had an album recorded, and so what I did was I put her on all of our songs. On all of the songs that I had, and the chemistry was there, and it just came together from there. And we actually had a deal, and we recorded the whole album, and it was crazy, and then God said no.
And I said, let's do gospel. Because I just felt like it was time for me, myself, rapping so long, I just wanted to tell the truth. I wanted to talk about something that meant something, and I felt like that was the arena to do it in.
Yeah, so, I always had it back in my mind, I'm going to do a gospel album. I just was like, not yet, but,
you wasn't ready.
I wasn't ready because, we worked so hard on that one, and it was crazy. I was just ready to take the world by storm, and it was that good. And but God, we plan and God laughs. So He's the best of planners, and here we are. And we started to do, I actually started working on the gospel album first, and it comes back to Trent because I said, Trent, I decided I want to be obedient, and I want to do this gospel album. And he was working on Salts from Salt and Pepper's album. And I remember when he first started working on it, the tracks was crazy. And I used to say, Dad, I wish I had that track. One of the tracks. And so happened, God made it that I had one of the tracks, the one that I wanted. And He gave me them, and I recorded them. And, I went and did them, and I missed her, though. I did them by myself, and I was just pouring out my heart, and all the things that I was going through, God had saved me from, and I was pouring out my heart on these records, but something was missing, and it was her. So I called her and told her that, I'm doing this gospel joint, and I miss you.
And it was perfect timing because, I was going through a lot. So I needed to, that was a great time to put those words, and with the choruses that they had already come up with. And then when he told me that he ran into Daddy-O, and Daddy-O was a part of it, it just was perfect timing. God's timing is always perfect.
Yeah, so we did that. 4 songs, we had a deal on the table. And that was God, that was the quickest, we ever had any interest. I've ever had any interest.
Oh, yeah.
But what happened was, they didn't have the money to do the project. So I finished the album. I finished the album. I financed the album myself, and me, my uncle Billy. He's a former William Meggett, actually is his name. He's a former Harlem Globetrotter, and he gave me seed money, which is like $1,000, but it was something to start me up, and that was good to go in the studio because God gave me favor with my friend Bernard Drayton, because I've been doing commercials since I was like 19 years old. And any product you name, I've done it.
He put me on
so
I'm on a couple.
We did that, and so Bernie gave me studio time for free. Like, God's favor is incredible, and all I had to do was pay the engineer, and the engineer just charged us $100 a record, a song. So that was that $1,000. I did 10 songs, and my man Louis Alfred, he engineered it. So I did 10 songs, and we took as much time as we needed, and all I had to do was give him that $1,000. And I recorded the album, and some friends of my uncle stepped in and heard it, and took us over to Mr. Max Siegel, who was the president of Jive Records. He heard it, and he loved it. No, first they took it to Kendall Mention is his name, he's a lawyer. He does like Kurt Franklin. He's a lawyer for a lot of people. He was a nice dude when we met him, and then he took it actually to Max Siegel, and Max Siegel, he liked it, and he gave us the shot on his on Tastes, his side company, Ty Scott, and you know, and so here we are.
Doing it.
Talk about like, I don't really want to say gospel, but I want to say like, why rap and why now? Like now, right now, like, you know, all of the rap stuff, most of the rap, hip hop, whatever you want to call it, has like this bad name. It's kind of got this bad connotation. It's streety, it's dirty, it's, you know, all of that. And then in addition to that, there's even a lot of artists that are just kind of like on the real complaining side, like, we're not getting paid, we're not, you know what I mean? So like in the midst of all of that, you doing it. So talk about why.
Why we rapping?
Yeah, like just why rap and why now? Like, why do you choose this medium? Like, why you just not preaching?
Well, the reason why we are rapping is just because that's what we do. That's what we've always done. And for me, it's not any different because it's about Jesus. You know, hip hop has always been beats and rhymes. So why not praise God to beats and get these kids to listen to something positive as opposed to everything that's going on that's destructive, that's, you know, not helping, not motivating the kids to. It's just so much crazy stuff that's going on. Why not do this? You know, why not be different? And see, that's the hard thing. Is the thing is that to be different, and this is different because everybody else would choose to do the same thing because you think that's what's going to work for you, that's what's going to pop. You know, I'm not going to do that like the girl said to me when we did the club in Queens. She just walked up and she shook my hand and she said, yo, you brave. And, you know, I thought she was dope. You know, she wasn't doing what I was doing, but I thought she was really dope. And it struck me that she said that I was brave, you know. So I guess you could call it brave, or you could call it just daring to be different and not doing what everybody else want to do and just do the negative thing. It don't have to be that, you know.
The reason why I chose to do this was because it was in my heart. You know, it was always in my heart, and I was always the type of person to write from my heart. That's why I tell all young cats, when you write from your heart, man, you could never go wrong. You know what I'm saying? I couldn't talk about guns and killing people and feel and all that other craziness when I never done that. You know what I'm saying? I don't feel comfortable, you know, talking about that because I'm a loving person. You know what I'm saying? You know, I guess anybody could kill, but I couldn't do it. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? It's just, you know, I'd rather speak life than to speak death, and not to put down all the cats that's doing what they do, because, like, you know, they my brothers and I'm supposed to love them. You know what I'm saying? But no matter what they doing, and I gotta love on them, and I love the hood, and I pray for the hood all day. I just got a problem with the message that they feed my kids.
That's right.
You know what I'm saying? And when I say my kids, I mean your kids and your kids and your kids. Everybody's kids is my kids. You know what I'm saying? Because we all supposed to be looking out for each other.
And that's
you know,
what
so
stop doing.
yeah. So I'm not gonna, and I won't come. I'm not gonna sit here and complain about what they're doing.
Right.
We just chose to make an album that can compete with that and give them another route to go.
And to do something about it as opposed
Yeah,
to
complaining
complaining
about it.